I heard a voice in an empty bar. Nobody was there. The lights were low, the whiskey was cold, and the old blues record was turning slowly on the machine. But I heard her just like she used to sound, and for one moment I forgot she was gone. It was raining outside when I walked through the door. The same little bar where we'd been before. I hadn't been there in almost 10 years, but something in the rain brought me back to those years. The bartender looked at me and nodded his head. He knew my face from the nights I had spent, and I took the corner seat where we used to sit. I ordered 2 whiskeys, then laughed at myself for it, because one glass was all I needed, but I still ordered 2. I heard her voice in an empty bar, calling my name from somewhere in the dark. I turned around, but nobody was there, just an old neon sign and smoke floating through the air. I heard her voice in an empty bar, like she never really left my heart. Maybe it was the whiskey, maybe it was the rain, maybe some memories never really fade. She used to sit beside me with her hair tied back. She'd steal my cigarettes and tell me I smoked too much. I'd play my old guitar, she'd sing along. Never knew all the words, but somehow never sang them wrong. We didn't have much money, but we didn't seem to care. We had a little table and 2 wooden chairs. Every Friday night we'd meet at that bar and talk about leaving and chasing our dreams too far. She wanted California, I wanted Tennessee. We promised we'd go to dinner, but we never did. One night she looked at me, she, I think I'm leaving. I laughed 'cause I thought she was talking about the sea. She wasn't. She packed her bags before the morning light, left her ring on the table and walked into the night. I ran after her, but she was already gone. Her car disappeared before I reached the corner. I stood in the rain it was the rain, maybe some memories never really fade. I spent the next few years trying to find her. I called old friends, I searched old places, I drove down roads we used to dream about, but every road ended in silence. Eventually I stopped searching. I told myself that some people are only meant to walk beside you for part of the journey, then disappear. I believe that, at least I tried to. That night in the bar, the bartender brought my second glass. I told him I don't need this anymore. He smiled and said, "Why did you order it?" I didn't know what to say, so I looked toward the empty chair. And that's when I heard her voice, soft, almost a whisper, "You're still here." My heart stopped. I turned around, met just an empty chair. I found a photograph inside an old guitar case. The edges were worn, her smile was still the same. And for a moment, 20 years disappeared. It was late on a Sunday when I opened that case. I hadn't touched it in years. Dust covered the strings, the wood had lost its shine, but something underneath caught my eye. An old photograph wrapped in a piece of paper. I knew her instantly. She was standing beside a river with the sun behind her. That smile, that beautiful smile, I had spent years trying to forget. We were young back then, with nothing but dreams. A cheap old car and a pocket full of change. She wanted to see the ocean, I wanted to play music. We thought we'd have all the time in the world. Funny thing about time, you never know how little you have until it's gone. The photographs she left behind time. The photograph she left behind reminds me of who we were. Two young hearts with nowhere to go, but everywhere to dream. We spent our summers driving nowhere, stopping at roadside diners when the sun went down. She'd sit beside me with her feet on the dashboard. I'd play my guitar. She'd sing off key, and I'd pretend she sounded beautiful. She always laughed when I said that. Then she'd lean over and kiss my cheek. Those were simple days. I didn't know they were the best days of my life. One autumn morning, she told me she was leaving. She had found a job 3 states away. I told her I'd follow. She smiled. She said, "You always say that." I promised. She waited. I never came, not because I didn't love her. I was afraid. Afraid of leaving everything I knew. Afraid of becoming someone different. So she left alone, and I stayed behind. The photograph she left behind still carries that old light. Her eyes are frozen in another time. The photograph she left behind reminds me of who we were. Two young hearts with nowhere to go, but everywhere to dream. The years moved on. I played small bars, traveled different roads, met different people. But nobody ever smiled the way she did. Sometimes I'd see a woman with the same color hair. Or hear someone laugh the same way. And my heart would stop for half a second. 17. That's what the old brass key said. A little motel beside a lonely highway, the place where she looked at me for the last time and said, maybe this is goodbye. I didn't know I'd remember that room for the rest of my life. It was raining that evening when we pulled into town. The highway was empty and the sun was going down. She hadn't said a word for almost an hour, her head against the window, watching the rain. I asked her, are you okay? She said, I'm just tired. But I knew that voice, something was ending. We stopped at a little motel with a red neon sign, the kind of place you only stay when you don't know where else to go. The room smelled like old wood and cigarette smoke. There was one lamp beside the bed, 2 chairs by the window, and a photograph of a mountain hanging crooked on the wall. She put her suitcase on the floor, then sat down. I stood by the window. Neither of us knew what to say. Same room, but worlds apart inside. That was the motel room where I watched her cry. She said love wasn't enough, and I couldn't ask her why. The rain kept falling on the window that night. Somewhere between the silence and the tears, I knew she was leaving my life. We had been together for almost 7 years. 7 years of mornings, 7 years of fights, 7 years of dreams, 7 years of trying. We thought we'd grow old together. We talked about a house, a porch, a dog. Maybe a lemon garden. She wanted roses, I wanted a guitar room. We laughed about how we'd become old and stubborn, but somewhere along the road we stopped dreaming about the same future. She looked at me and said, "Do you remember the first time we met?" I smiled. "Of course." She said, "I knew then that you would break my heart." I laughed. She didn't. Then she said, "Maybe I knew because I was always gonna love you." I couldn't answer, some words are too heavy to carry. Oh, that was the motel room where we said goodbye, two hearts in the same room, but worlds apart inside. That was the motel room where I watched her cry. She said love wasn't enough, and I couldn't ask her why. The rain kept falling on the window that night, and somewhere between the silence and the tears, I knew she was leaving my life. There was still whiskey in her glass. Three years later, I never poured it out. Maybe that sounds crazy, but every time I looked at that glass, I could still see her sitting there. And for a long time, that was the closest thing I had to having her back. It was Friday night when she sat across from me at our little table by the window. The rain was falling hard outside the bar. She had her hands around the glass, but she wasn't drinking. I asked her what was wrong. She said nothing, but I knew her too well. There was something she wasn't telling me. She looked at the clock, then looked back at me and smiled, a small smile, the kind of smile people give when they're already saying goodbye. There was whiskey in the glass she never finished. a little bit of amber, and a whole lot of pain. She left before midnight and never came back. But I kept that glass just the same. There was whiskey in the glass she never finished, like a memory frozen in time. She took her heart when she walked away, but somehow she left part of mine. We met 5 years earlier at the same old bar. She was sitting alone, reading the newspaper. I walked over and asked if the chair was taken. She looked up and said, "Only if you bore me." I laughed, she laughed, and that was it, the beginning of everything. She loved old blues records. I loved playing guitar. She said my voice sounded like a broken train. I told her that was the nicest thing anyone had ever said to me. We spent years at that little table, talking until closing time, dreaming about places we'd never been. New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville, somewhere near the ocean. She always said she wanted to see the sea. I promised I'd take her there. I never did. Sometimes the promises we make casually become the rust we regret the most. Never finished, a little bit of amber and a whole lot of pain. She left before midnight and never came back, but I kept that glass just the same. Never finished, like a memory frozen in time. She took her heart when she walked away, but somehow she left part of mine. That final night, she looked different. Her hair was tied back. Her coat was already on. Her suitcase was waiting in the car. I didn't know about the suitcase, not until later. She asked me, Do you think people can fall out of love? I said, I don't know. She looked down at the whiskey. Then she said, I think sometimes people just get tired. I should have known, but I didn't. The bartender called last order. She stood up, reached into her purse, and placed some money on the table. I said, you're leaving? She smiled, yeah. I asked, where are you going? She said, 10 years. That's how long it took me to find her letter. 10 years sitting inside an old wooden box. 10 years of believing she left without saying goodbye. But she had said goodbye. I just never knew where to look. It was raining that morning when I opened the old box. I was looking for a photograph from another life. There were old train tickets, a broken watch, a faded hotel key, and a picture of us standing underneath the summer sun. Then I saw it, a folded piece of paper with my name written across it. Her handwriting, I hadn't seen it in 10 years. My hand started shaking before I even opened it. The letter began simply, dear. Then my name I had to stop reading. I poured myself a whiskey and sat beside the window. The rain was falling just like the night she left. I remembered everything. Her suitcase by the door, her tears, the silence and the sound of her footsteps disappearing down the street. I found her letter after 10 years, and suddenly she was here again. Every word brought back a memory I thought had disappeared. I found her letter after 10 years, and finally I knew the truth. She didn't leave because she stopped loving me. She left because she thought she was losing herself. She wrote about the first night we met, that little bar with a broken neon sign. She said she knew she loved me before I ever knew her name. She wrote about our first apartment, the cheap furniture, the old guitar, the coffee we drank every morning. She remembered everything, even the things I had forgotten. Then she wrote about the last year. She said she could feel herself becoming someone she didn't recognize. She was afraid, not of me, but of herself. She said she tried to tell me, but every time she opened her mouth, she lost the courage. She didn't want to hurt me, so she stayed quiet, and silence became the wall between us. She wrote, I know you think I stopped loving you. I stopped reading, I looked outside. The rain was getting heavier, then I continued. I never stopped. I found the letter after 10 years, and suddenly the years disappeared. I could hear her voice between every line. I found her letter after 10 years, and finally I understood. Some goodbyes are not about leaving love, they're about surviving you. She wrote about the night she finally left. She said she stood outside our bedroom for almost an hour, watching me sleep. She wanted to wake me. She wanted to say goodbye, but she couldn't. She wrote, if I had looked into your eyes, I would have stayed. The sound has broke me, because for 10 years I believed she walked away. Her coat was still hanging by the door. Three years after she left, I never moved it. Maybe I was waiting for her to come back. Maybe I was waiting for myself to finally understand why she never did. It was a cold November evening when she walked out of our house. She wore that old black coat she always complained was wearing out. She stood beside the doorway with tears beneath her eyes. I asked her if she loved me. She whispered, I don't know. Those 4 words cut deeper than any goodbye. She reached for the door, then stopped for a moment and looked around the room at our photographs, our old piano, the flowers on the windowsill. Everything we had built was standing there, but she wasn't. Her coat was still hanging by the door long after she was gone. Every night I looked at it and wondered what I'd done wrong. Her coat was still hanging by the door, like she might walk in again. But some people leave the room and never come back the same. I could hear her footsteps in every hallway. I could feel her memory in every room. Her coat was still hanging by the door, and I couldn't let go of you. We met at a little diner on a rainy Sunday night. She was sitting by the window, reading underneath the light. I asked if I could join her. She smiled and moved her coffee. That was all it took. One cup of coffee, one conversation, one beautiful mistake. We spent the next few years chasing sunsets, playing records, drinking whiskey, and dreaming about a house somewhere near the sea. She wanted a garden, I wanted a porch. We both wanted forever. But life has a way of changing people. Bills came, dreams faded, nights became quieter. She started coming home late. I started asking too many questions. We stopped talking, then we started arguing. Then we stopped arguing, and somehow that was worse. Silence can be louder than any fight. I could feel her slipping away long before she walked out the door. Her coat was still hanging by the door long after she was gone. Every night I looked at it and wondered what I'd done wrong. Her coat was still hanging by the door, like she might walk in again. But some people leave the room and never come back the same. I could hear her footsteps in every hallway. I could feel was still hanging by the door, and I couldn't let go of you. The first winter without her was the hardest one. I kept the heating low because she always liked the cold. I still bought 2 cups of coffee every morning, then remembered there was only one person sitting at the table. I stopped inviting friends over. I didn't want anyone to ask about her, so I played guitar every night until my fingers hurt. The blues understood what I couldn't explain. Night she left, watched the rain fall against the window. She stood by the door with a suitcase in her hand. Thought she was only leaving the house. I didn't know she was taking my heart with her. It was a little after midnight when I heard the bedroom door. She walked into the hallway like she'd done 1,000 times before. But something in her eyes made me stop and stare. There was a sadness in her face that hadn't been there yesterday. I said, "Baby, what's wrong?" She didn't answer me. She just looked toward the window and watched the rain fall silently. Her suitcase was beside her. Her coat was on her shoulders. And suddenly I understood the woman I loved was leaving. That was the night she took my heart with her, walking through the rain. I watched her disappear, but nothing was ever the same. That was the night she took my heart with her, left me standing at the door. She took the love we built together, and I couldn't hold it anymore. She never said she didn't love me. She never said that she was free. She just walked into the darkness and took the best part of me. We met in a little bar on the edge of town. She was drinking whiskey slowly when the jukebox played a lonely sound. I remember her blue dress and the way she smiled at me, like she already knew there was something I couldn't see. I bought her a drink. She laughed at my old guitar. She said, "You look like trouble." I said, "Baby, you don't know how right you are." That night became a lifetime, or at least I thought it would. We found a little house with a porch beneath the trees. We spent our Sunday mornings drinking coffee in the breeze. She planted flowers by the window. I fixed the old wooden floor. We talked about growing old together and never wanting anything more. There were difficult years, there were nights we fought. But every morning I'd wake up and find her beside me. And somehow that was enough, until it wasn't. That was the night she took my heart with her, walking through the rain. I watched her disappear, but nothing was ever the same. That was the night she took my heart with her, left me standing at the door. She took the love we built together, and I couldn't hold it anymore. There were difficult years, there were nights we fought. But every morning I'd wake up and find her beside me. And somehow that was enough. Until it wasn't. There was a night she took my heart with her, walking through the rain. I watched her disappear, but nothing was ever the same. There was a night she took my heart with her, left me standing at the door. She took the love we built together, and I couldn't hold it anymore. So I opened the door. She looked back at me. Her eyes were full of tears. And for 1 second, I thought she'd change her mind. She did it. I drove back to the place we fell in love. 20 years later, the old road was still there. The trees had grown taller, and for one strange moment, I could almost hear a laugh coming through the wind. It was early Sunday morning when I turned on that road. The sky was gray and the highway was empty. I hadn't planned to go there, but something inside me said it was time. I passed the old gas station where we used to stop for coffee. The diner was gone, the sign was broken, but the road looked exactly the same. I kept driving. We met at a little roadside bar just outside of town. She was sitting by the window, I was playing guitar for a handful of strangers. She listened to every song. After the show, she walked over and said, "You play like somebody who's been hurt." I lied, she smiled, and I knew I was in trouble. I drove back to the place we fell in love, where the old roads still remember our name. I drove back to the place we fell in love, and suddenly I was young again. She was beside me in the passenger seat, laughing while the radio played. I drove back to the place we fell in love, but she wasn't there this time. We spent that summer driving everywhere. No plans, no money, just a tank of gas and a map. She'd point toward some random road and say, "Let's go that way." I'd ask where, she'd say, "Anywhere." We watched sunsets from the hood of the car, slept in cheap motels, shared one cup of coffee in the morning, and believed we had all the time in the world. There was an old wooden bridge where we'd stop at night. She loved that place. She'd sit on the railing and watch the river. I'd play guitar, she'd hum along. Sometimes we wouldn't speak for hours. We didn't need to. That's what I remember most. Not the big moments, the quiet ones. Her hand in mine, her head on my shoulder, the sound of the river, the old guitar, the smell of summer rain. I drove back to the place we fell in love, where the old roads still remember our name. I drove back to the place we fell in love, and suddenly I was young again. She was beside me in the passenger seat, laughing while the radio played. I drove back to the place we fell in love, but she wasn't there this time. Years passed, life changed. We moved to different cities, still different lives, had different dreams. Our last conversation wasn't dramatic, no screaming, no tears, just two people who finally realized they wanted different things. She said, maybe someday we'll find our way back. I believed her, she probably didn't. I never went back to that road, not once. I thought if I returned, I'd find the memories waiting there, and I wasn't ready to face them. So I She left a key on my table and walked out into the night. I watched her disappear beneath the streetlight. No letter, no warning, no reason why. Just one little key in a heart that didn't know how to say goodbye. It was almost midnight when I heard the front door close. I was sitting in the kitchen trying to forget what I already knew. She had been quiet for weeks, barely looked into my eyes. Every question that I asked her turned into another lie. I said, baby, are you leaving? She stood there without a word. Then she reached into her pocket and placed something on the table. It was the key to our old apartment, the one we'd shared for years. And when she finally looked at me, I saw everything inside her tears. She left a key on my table and walked away from our home. She left her memories behind her, but she took my heart when she went. She left a key on my table like she knew she'd never return. Now every night I see it shining, and every night I watch it burn. She didn't say goodbye, she didn't tell me why. She just left the key on my table and disappeared into the night. I remember when we found that place. It was small and falling apart. The windows barely closed, but she said it was a brand new start. We painted every wall together, bought an old second-hand bed. She hung pictures in the hallway of every dream inside her head. We danced there in the kitchen with the radio playing low. She'd laugh when I tried to sing and say, "Baby, you don't know that song." We didn't have much money, but we had everything we needed. 2 cups sitting by the window and a love we both believed in. Then somewhere along the years, something slowly disappeared. We stopped talking about tomorrow and started living with our fears. She left her key on my table and walked away from our home. She left her memories behind her, but she took my heart when she went. She left her key on my table, like she knew she'd never return. Now every night I see it shining, and every night I watch it burn. She didn't say goodbye, she didn't tell me why. She just left her key on my table and disappeared into the night. I searched the bedroom, I searched the closet, I looked underneath the bed. I found an old blue sweater and the letters that she never read. There was a photograph of us from a summer long ago. She was smiling at the camera and I was holding her close. I sat down on the floor with that photograph in my hands, and suddenly I understood how quickly forever ends. Outside the rain was falling against the window glass, and every drop sounded like another piece of our past. I thought about calling her, but I knew what she would say. Sometimes you can hear goodbye before the person walks away. I stayed awake until sunrise with that key beside my hand. I kept believing she'd come back and somehow make me understand. But the morning came in slowly, and the room was still and cold. Her coffee cup was sitting there exactly where she left it before. I picked up the key and held it to the light. It looked so small for something that could change my life. I wondered where she was. I wondered if she was safe. I wondered if she ever looked back at the life she walked away from. There's a photograph I keep inside an old wooden box. Her smile is still there, like nothing ever changed. I've thrown away letters, I've burned old clothes, I've moved through 100 lonely nights. But that photograph I could never throw away. I found it in the bottom of a drawer on a cold December morning. The corners were bent, the colors had faded, but her eyes still looked the same. We were standing beside an old motel somewhere outside Memphis. She was wearing that blue dress I always loved, and I was holding her close. We were young, we were foolish, we thought love meant forever. Neither one of us knew how quickly forever could disappear. That's the photograph I could never throw away, the only piece of us that time couldn't take away. Every time I look at her, I remember who I was before the night she walked away. That's the photograph I could never throw away, a little piece of heaven, a little piece of pain. She disappeared from my life, but she never disappeared from that frame. She used to laugh whenever I played guitar. Said I only knew 3 chords, but I played them like they were all I had. We'd sit outside the motel with a whiskey on the table, watching headlights disappear down that old highway. She'd tell me about her dreams, I'd tell her about mine. We promised we'd leave that town and build a life somewhere new. But dreams don't always survive when real life starts knocking. But sometimes 2 people can love each other and still lose each other. The last photograph I took of her was on a Sunday afternoon. She was standing by the doorway holding a cup of coffee, smiling like nothing in the world could ever hurt us. That night we argued, I don't even remember why. Maybe it was money, maybe it was pride, maybe it was all the things we were too afraid to say. She packed a small suitcase, I told her she'd be back. She looked at me for a long time and whispered, "Don't wait." That's the photograph I could never throw away, the only piece of us that time couldn't take away. Every time I look at her, I remember who I was before the night she walked away. That's the photograph I could never throw away, a little piece of heaven, a little piece of pain. She disappeared from my life, but she never disappeared from the back frame. Years passed, I changed apartments, changed jobs, changed cities. But I carried that photograph everywhere I went. Sometimes I would put it inside a drawer and tell myself I was finally moving on. Then midnight would come and I'd take it out again. I'd sit beside the window, pour a glass of whiskey and wonder where she was. Did she ever think about me? Did she ever remember that old motel? Did she keep any photographs of us? I never found out. Slow electric guitar crying through the night, deep warm bass, soft humming on Rona Honitor, brush drums, long emotional guitar bends, vintage tape atmosphere, distant rain, extended soulful blues get solo. One winter evening, I received a phone call. It was from a friend I hadn't heard from in years. It took me hours, but I found it. The sign was almost gone, the rooms were empty, the parking lot was throwing me